Lost in all the news about the appointment of a special counsel, the Russia probe, White House leaks, the politics of the FBI, is a directive by the U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions laying out a new Get Tough on Crime policy. In a memo to federal prosecutors, the Attorney General directed agencies to seek, quote, the most serious and readily provable offense. It also reinforces a commitment to mandatory minimum sentences, and that move could lengthen sentences for drug-related crimes. That would be a reversal of Obama administration policy. The number of people incarcerated for drug offenses in the United States skyrocketed from almost 50,000 back in 1980 to nearly 470,000 in 2015. Adam Foss is a former prosecutor in Boston, now an advocate for incarcerated young people. More than 1.5 million people watched his TED Talk on reforming the criminal justice system. It's nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
So walk me through, with this policy shift from the U.S. Attorney General, what does that mean for local prosecutors? When you were a prosecutor, if you had gotten a word like this from the top, how would that actually play out?
The good news is that the federal government does not have authority over local prosecutors. So the mandate from Jeff Sessions will affect prosecutors that are in the Justice Department, but not state and local prosecutors.
So for prosecutors who are within the Justice Department, what exactly does this mandate from Jeff Sessions make them do?
It makes them take any case where there's an allegation, particularly in drug crimes, to charge as many crimes as you can for any set of facts. And not only charge any set of crimes, charge the most serious and ask for the most amount of time on these crimes.
So if I'm a citizen, I'd say, well, that's great. A person has done something bad. Why not charge them with every possible thing that we could possibly charge them with and lock them up for a long time?
We've been through this before. This is exactly what you saw as the incarceration rates in this country skyrocketed, was this idea that if we got all the bad guys for as long as we possibly could and locked them away for as long as possible, crime would come down. And we learned a very horrible lesson that that was not the right thing to do.
So crime didn't particularly go down?
There's very little data to suggest that the incarceration of generations of men and women drove crime down. Other things, from anything from lead paint coming out of homes to gentrification to better budgeting, better education, and a better economy led to this drop in crime.
And when you describe it as horrible and terrible, you're really talking about the impact that happened because of mass incarceration in the United States. What was that impact?
You lose the ability to live in public housing for a lot of drug crimes. You lose the ability to get a driver's license, to get financial aid, to get public welfare. And the idea behind that was it would deter people from committing crime, but the consequence of it has been people who are touched by the criminal justice system come out in a way worse position, so they go back to committing crime.
Since you've left the prosecutor's office in Boston, I know that you've been focused on the idea of how flexible prosecutors can be as they think about how to charge somebody who's come before them. Why is that flexibility so critical, do you think?
Because if the justice system ran on a completely objective, you do this, you go there, and everything was fair, that'd be okay, but it doesn't. The disproportionate amount of people in prison who are from marginalized communities, from communities of color, immigrants, LGBTQ, is a result of people trying to use a rubber stamp to fix problems.
Do you think it could be devastating to communities if, in fact, federal prosecutors do as this directive tells them to do, and if local prosecutors pick up on the messaging and make the decision to be more aggressive on these drug crimes?
It's already devastating. We're already at a point where we've reached devastation. Whatever happens with the federal government and what they choose to do, it's going to be more devastating. And if the prosecutors that I worked alongside and that I've visited all across the country very recently follow this mandate, we're going to be embarrassed. And we should be ashamed of what we're about to do to the citizens of this country.
Adam Foss, nice to have you with us. Appreciate it.
Great to be here. Thank you.